What's up, everybody? I hope your week is starting off great. This is the Guardian Series recap after the opening series of the year. I'm Jacob. That's Nick. Down there's Roger. Gentlemen, how are we doing after the hot 3-1 start for the Guards?
Go ahead, Nick. Okay. Well, all right. Fair enough then. You know what? I'll tell you. Last year, the Mariners were a playoff team, and so going in the series, I know it's a new season. I understand that, but there's a lot of good players on that team, and I think especially after Bieber's start doesn't go well, you win the next three. You've taken three, and you're in Seattle, and the Guardians typically start kind of slow. So I'm really excited. I think this is a highly encouraging series. Jose Ramirez just posted some smack talk. Don't know if you saw that on Twitter.
I did not.
No. Yeah, it's a little spicy little tweet.
I'll find it. You guys talk. I'll find it.
Yeah. Jacob's gonna find it. I'm riding high. How are you feeling, Roger?
Nick, I'm doing great. I had you go for. I forgot the order. Watching them this weekend, and you want to say they picked up right where they left off. I was telling Jacob, I'm working on a story about how these guys have been together. That clubhouse, really, there's not been a turnover from last year. And some of these guys have been playing, all of them been playing together since Akron in 2018, some of them. And they started filling in, coming through Columbus, and they're playing like a team already. And the first weekend of opening series of 162 is rare.
Yeah.
I remember 2016. Jose Ramirez was in left field to start the season, and he played third base in the World Series. And I don't think we're going to see that kind of thing with this Guardians team. I think everybody's pretty much where they're going to be, for all 162, barring something, you'll have your call-ups and whatnot, but I think what you see today is what we're going to see all year. And I was impressed the way they fought back when they had to. Last night they went out and we don't beat you with home runs, but if we have to, we will.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's season just starting. It's a long way to go. We had already talked Chuck off a ledge once this weekend. Game one of 162. So it's a long season, man. Let's just buckle up and enjoy the ride.
I'm waiting for my Guards gear. I've gotten some Guards gear on the way. This is my first full year following the Guardians after the success of last year. I had really fallen out of touch with baseball, to be completely honest with you guys. And then that Guardians playoff run and the fun that they had, in those W's that they did get before they were ultimately eliminated. It was a lot of fun. And I said, well, shit, man, I got to get in on some of this and enjoy some of this awesomeness. Of course, I am currently battling with the mixture of MLB.TV and Bally Sports with the inability to see these games. I am mostly relying on replay as well as listening to the radio broadcast. So I'm a little salty, but I know Bally's about to go belly up, and after that, we'll probably be able to all watch it from wherever we want. So we'll get there. We'll get around to there. I'm stoked, though, because you go out there and you lose in the opening day, and I get it, 162 games, but that first one you just really want to be excited. And so you lose opening day and you're just kind of like, man, that stinks. But it's way better than football because they get to come back the next day and try again. And they come back and I just think you said it, man. They won on home runs. They won one game with home runs. They won 2 games with that just nasty brand of baseball that they play, including scoring the game-winning run on an error today. Scoring the game-winning run on a Sunday on an error. And now it wasn't just the error. There was some, hustle and base running and some things that was going on. But, you're just winning baseball games however you have to.
And see, that's the thing. And they know going in, the Mariners and the rest of Major League Baseball knows that this baseball team's going to run out every ground ball. And they're going to have to throw it quick. They're going to have to make a good play to get them. And it makes somebody hurry, and it causes errors, and it wins you ball games if you hustle. And that's Tito's way, man. That's how they're going to play. It's Tito's way. Hurry the throws, make errors, run the bases hard. He said about Rosario, he wants all of them thinking third base out of the box. That's what Tito said. He loves Rosario. He's thinking third base as soon as he leaves the box. and that's the way they all play. So, man, hustle, win you some ball games.
Hey, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that drip. Your third baseman could never.
A little bit of smack talk from Jose there.
Wow.
Just a tiny bit, but just enough to get your attention.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to point out was Jimenez, man. Like Jimenez yesterday, that double play was just asinine that he was able to make that double play. And everybody was like, as we were still celebrating Jimenez's great defense, he just cranks one. And you're just like, oh, hey, did you notice he also just cranked one out? And you're like, huh?
Yeah.
You're still riding the high of the double play, and he was cranking them out of the park.
Yeah.
And you're like, and you look at this, you are out. You're what? I would say Tristan McKenzie's number 2 in that rotation, right? Would you say safe to say he's probably number 2? So you're without Tristan McKenzie. So on day 3, you're running out your 4th arm, and you pitch a shutout. And I understand it wasn't just him; it was the bullpen. The bullpen has been pretty good in this opening series, but it's just. It's these little things like you guys are talking. Roger, they're a team. You point that out. They're a team already. You're playing team baseball, winning however they want. And I wanted to highlight one guy right out the rip for today, and that's Tim Herron, who made his major league debut, faced 4 batters and struck them all out.
Right.
That was awesome.
If that's not an omen for a good sign of a good season to come, I don't know what is.
His parents were scheduled to fly out this morning out of Seattle, and they stayed the extra day, and they were able to see him pitch. They were there at the ballpark, and that's a beautiful thing, man. I was at the ball game on the first base side the day Bradley Zimmer's first major league game, and his parents were down in the front row, and we sat there. We were about 10 rows up in that first section, though, and watched his parents hug him and all the pictures and all that, and that's an incredible thing to see. And for his parents to see him, and then, he was just nasty today, man. Just nasty. Beautiful.
I think my favorite part of this series comes from another pitcher, and it's Tito going back to Karinchak after that rough debut of his. And you know what? Because it was a close game. It was tight, and that easily could have gone the other way, right? But I think showing your belief in Karinchak and giving him another chance to go out there and make up for his error, I guess you could just say
a bad night to make up for a bad night.
Everybody has a bad night. I definitely wasn't ready to push the panic button or anything, but keeping confidence high, right? And I think that's something you see from Jose Ramirez too. I have never known Jose Ramirez to talk smack publicly, right? And I know that's just like a little thing, but I feel like those two, Karinchak being given another chance like he did, and Jose tweeting like he did, just kind of speaks to where the mentality of the team is. I feel like the bar is high, and this team is built to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, Karinchak.
I have a typo in the banner that's running across the bottom, so give me a second.
Karinchak is, you got to have personality to play the game of baseball, and throughout the history of baseball, we've had a lot of personalities in the game. Remember we had Rocker here, for God's sakes. Remember him when he'd come running in out of the bullpen? John Rocker, But I love Karinchak. I love everything about him. When he walked off the bump, last night, man, he was fired up. And I think they know he's going to take some time getting adjusted to the clock. You don't want to screw too much with the pitcher's mechanics, with his motion, with everything he does out there. But I'm sure they're working with him. He's got great stuff, man. He's a head case, but he's got great stuff. And when he's on, you can't hit him.
I can't really.
And it was the passion for me last night.
Yeah,
the passion from him was definitely for me.
He's loaded with it, man. He brings it in truckloads, passion, so.
And his name escapes me, Jacob. You just said it, but the pitcher who debuted today, it just feels like the Cleveland is just going to keep being a pitching factory. I know it's just a start, but I think we can be even a little bit more confident that this will continue because you just see it. You see it with all these pitchers that the Guardians constantly churn out. It's crazy what they're able to do. It doesn't feel like I really feel like they're on a different level than a lot of the rest of the MLB. And I don't know how they keep doing it, but I'm not complaining.
Well, and I'll point out the guy that just signed a nice extension that slammed the door today.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about pitching and all that great stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, well, you slammed the door with a guy that has come up through, that has been with the organization and is getting an extension right going into the season. Because if you give somebody an extension in the middle of a great season, it's like, yeah, of course he's balling out. No, this was confidence in this pitcher and what he has done and what he will do. And his name is it
Trevor Stephan?
Stephan. I always forget I always want to call him Stevens, which is really just me being ignorant. But yeah, so he goes out there and he slams the door, and you're like, hey, there you go. Side note, before we continue, our friends over at Homage Apparel have this amazing shirt that I will link in the description down below. Go buy this beauty.
It's awesome, man. I need to have it. I don't own it yet. I need to own that.
Ross owns it.
After my heart. I need to have it. And I didn't even realize that their Guardians, they have an MLB Jam shirt with Bieber and Jose, which I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Either.
I tried to get that one for Chuck for Christmas, and it was sold out.
Oh, well.
I wanted to get him that one, and that they didn't have it. Christmas, they were flying off the shelves. You got to get Homage quick, man, because
look at all this great. Look at this.
They got great stuff.
Because they got the beautiful script Guardians that I think is really nice and clean.
I'm going with the Grateful Dead one.
The Grateful Dead. Looky here. There's one for Roger.
That's the one I want right there is the hot dog one. Yeah,
here's for hot dog. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you what. We get the first hot dog races this Friday.
Yeah, we do.
We even got shorts.
I'm in.
Look at that. Hey, you know what?
That's what Homage brings to the table.
I need a hoodie, and I like that gray one, man. I like that. I like that gray one. That's tough, man.
I need. Okay, so I know that we'll probably have a couple shows between now and when the Guardians wrap up their home opening series. However, if you're picking a mustard, ketchup, or relish to win the debut hot dog race of the home opener, I need your pick. I need your selection. Who you got?
My heart says mustard because mustard it's the second greatest condiment known to man behind barbecue sauce.
Oh,
what was that? Is there barbecue sauce? Barbecue sauce?
Yeah, the condiment. That's what you put on ribs.
You put barbecue sauce on everything, Roger. Dip your French fries in it. Your life will change. But I'm going relish.
I said relish. It's onion.
I'm going onion. Is that what you're going? You're going onion?
Yeah, I'll go onion.
I'd like to go onion. If I can't have mustard, I want onion on my dog.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
In a perfect world, I get mustard and onion.
This is an onion show.
Onion show.
We're an onion show.
Clean sweep.
I say I think 216 we should get a poll and see at the end of the year who wins. We all pick a dog.
Cool.
Yeah, we should make that a running thing. We just decided tonight, guys, that the Guardian series recap might be a regular show here on Network 216 with the three of us. So we're all gonna go onion.
We're going onion.
We're going onion.
So number one will be all on onion. So we will keep you posted, and we'll do something like Coltrane had to eat the hot chip after losing their picks bet. Maybe we should decide as a show what we will do for the loser of all the hot dog races.
You know what? I'll say on a slightly related note, the three of us were in the thread. If the Browns do win their home opener, the Browns do win, well, I don't even know if I call it the home opener. No,
you said the season opener.
Season opener, not home opener. I got home opener on the brain. If the Browns win the season opener, I am doing the hot chip challenge. If you bring me joy, we will endure. We will endure the heat.
Oh, boy.
The Browns don't win season openers very often. They finally did last year, and we were all together.
Yeah, we were, man. You knocked me down when it went through the uprights. I'm standing there. It was like one of those, like a freight train hit me.
Chris, I think our good friend KFC picked me up and ran with me. That was a thing that happened. He picked me. He's a bit strong boy because I'm a big boy. Like, and we jumped up there and it was nuts. Okay, let's talk a little bit more. I want to talk about Zunino today.
I was just going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Go ahead.
I saw some things on there, and I know I can't remember who else I saw it from, but Grant Pushkar over at BetJack, good friend of the show, was talking about being able to get offense from the catcher and it not being something that the Guardians had last year, and just how good it was and how it made him feel overall. And it was like, he goes 3 for 3, drives in 3 runs, scores 2 runs. Had a really tough time behind the plate, but I'm willing to say that's one game. And it goes with both the offense and the defense. It's just one game. But I think it's safe to say that if Zunino can play like this, for one, he's going to be the everyday catcher, I think. If he's playing, if his offense is like this and the defense is just not dog shit, I think he is your everyday catcher. I don't know, maybe you guys disagree. I'm not sure. I just think he obviously provided something we haven't really seen from the position. But if you all of a sudden, because what's different? You talked about this, Roger. What's different about this lineup offensively? Well, really nothing except for maybe, Josh Bell.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah. Josh Bell, who I think is fantastic. Right. But you got Josh Bell, and then maybe your catcher can hit too. Add that to last year's offense, which is all back, and you're cooking with gasoline, man. You're cooking gasoline.
Yeah. In 2021, he was an all-star. He's a veteran. I think he first came up with Seattle. And then he was with the Rays. And he felt tingling in his arm. He reported it after his all-star season. And he was diagnosed with, I think I had it here somewhere. Thoracic outlet syndrome is what he had. And it's a tingling sensation. Anyways, it was in his glove hand. You see when he drops the ball to block the plate, it looks like I have a lot of shoulder problems, but it almost like it's moving. His arm isn't moving almost naturally. I don't know, but he swung the bat good tonight. I know that in 2021, he had 62 RBIs. He had 33 home runs. He draws walks. He had over 30 walks that year. He's going to work it out defensively. He's a good defensive catcher. And if we can get that kind of production, we haven't had that kind of production since Yan Gomes. I think it was 2014. He won the Silver Slugger. Wow. So we haven't had a catcher hit. Roberto Perez, he was phenomenal defensively. And every once in a while, he hit a bomb. Perez. That was he wore 55. I loved him. That was my wife's guy. But we haven't had production behind the plate since 1 year with Yan Gomes when he won the Silver Slugger. I think it was 2014. He was injured, and then Perez ended up playing in the World Series in the 2016 season. He took over. So, it's been a while. Almost 10 years since we had a catcher that hit the ball.
Sorry, Roger. Just the lineup top to bottom, especially when Zunino's hitting like that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I feel like we would get to the bottom of the order last year and be like, well, we got a couple of outs here.
You'd just be like, well, when's the next guy that can hit going to come up?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like because the Guardians were up 3-1, and then I believe it was 4-3 and then 5-5, and when they went down. I never felt like, they can't get back into this, right. Actually, I was thinking, they very well could hit themselves back, and that's a nice feeling that I don't think we've consistently had in quite a long time.
I think with Tito's teams, like the last couple of years, you always felt, oh my God, we're not out of this towards the end, but I know what you're saying, Nick.
Yeah.
It's like right now, even last year, 8th inning, they didn't start playing baseball till the 7th inning last year, if you remember. You know what I mean? They'd be hanging in there, and you just sit back and wait. And the 7th, 8th, and 9th, they'd, just go off on somebody and end up winning the ball game. So it's a great sign this weekend. I think Zunino's going to be fine. You got Bo Naylor. He's already hit 2 home runs already. I think 2 or 3 already.
And he threw somebody out.
They're going to have a hard time keeping him in Columbus if he keeps hitting the baseball like that. So maybe with the veteran and what he's been, Zunino's got to be 10 years. He got I mean, he was with Seattle for a while before he went to the Rays. So it'd be good to have a young Bo Naylor in splitting time. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to have a hard time keeping Naylor down there if he keeps hitting the baseball the way he is in Columbus.
Hey Nick, do you want to feel old?
I'll feel old.
So as Roger is pointing out, that Zunino's been a decade or so in the MLB. He's our age. He is 32.
Wow,
he's your age.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
1990.
He was born in 1991, so same year as me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you brought up Josh Bell real quick, Jacob.
Oh, I love Josh Bell.
So I have a spicy stat from this series. Josh Bell had 12 at bats in this series. Now he only had one hit, so we're leaving a little bit to be desired there. However, Josh Bell had 6 walks and 12 at bats in his first series. I know the hits didn't come, but you're on base. That's Guardians baseball.
Yes.
Right there. You are on base and being a threat to score.
That OPS.
And that's a great sign because Tito said in the beginning, the guys that you're bringing guys into this team. They asked him about free agency and that, and he said, we want to make sure the guys that come in here are going to want to play baseball the way we play baseball and do it our way, and him getting on base by taking pitches, by walking, showing that way, not up there swinging away, trying to hit everything out of the park.
Yeah.
I love it. And the one he did hit still hasn't landed. And look at Naylor was in, right? He played some first. He DH. He gives Naylor. Man, I can't wait. I'm excited for this year, man. I'm excited. Our second baseman, people want to put him at shortstop. We've had 2 Gold Glove. We had Robbie Alomar. We had Cesar Hernandez. We're the last 2 Gold Gloves. We got a guy that won a Gold Glove. He's an all-star, and he's a second. And this will be a second full season. He's going to stay right in the number 4 position all the way to Cooperstown. We got plenty of middle infielders down in the minors to bring up to play shortstop. I think they're going to keep Jimenez right where he's at, and he's not going to go anywhere.
You see this over my shoulder here? We will be getting a Guardians poster framed to put up there. Anybody got suggestions? Email me, tweet me at the Twitters. I'm going to get one so that we can change it between Browns and Guard shows. Because I'm loving this. I'm loving this vibe. I love this team already.
My favorite thing about baseball, when you have a good baseball team, you get to enjoy them for forever.
All the time.
Amazing.
and if you're upset, just wait a day or 2, you'll be fine.
Right. They'll play tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Chuck to see that they're going to play tomorrow. And then at the end of last year, he's like, they're not playing tomorrow.
Well, yeah, eventually that does. You're right. It does technically run out at the end, and it is what it is.
The only thing I could ask for beyond the way we've got the Guardians to start is a Steven Kwan extension today, preferably.
Every day, Nick. I'm going to retweet it until we get it for him.
We're going to keep asking, and you know what? Because you know what. I know we're kind of getting to the tail end here, but I want to give the Dolans and ownership credit because you know what? I was a loud critic of theirs because it sucks when you're like, you know what? This guy's good and this guy's good, and I really want to buy a jersey, but are they going to be here? Like, I think it's a fair thing to ask to be able to buy a jersey and to be able to rely on that player to be there for at least a few years, right? Your best players, your extended players, and so finally, you go out and add Josh Bell. You sign Jimenez. You just signed Jose last year. It's clear that the team is spending more money. So I'm going to give them as much credit as I did Flack when they didn't. I love it. And Roger, it looks like you got something to add to that. So I'm so happy. What you got?
No, I mean, they take a beating, and as fans, we want to see you go out and sign this guy and sign that guy. And, this year they have homegrown talent. Guys that are nowhere near arbitration yet. Kwan's nowhere near arbitration yet, but the smart ball players take the money and lock up the guaranteed money or the contract. I think it's going to happen. The Dolans take a beating, but the Guardians have been one of the best organizations in Major League Baseball for the last decade. since Tito's been here, we've had one losing season. I think the city of Cleveland and fans are going to come back out this year. They're going to be exciting, and man, yeah, you're right. Hats off to the Dolans and to management and to our new owner. I forget his name, but I think he had to sign on for some of that.
Yeah.
And because he's going to have to pay the bill, So, but from everything I've read, he's going to spend money and the new ownership's going to, want a winner every year. So that's great news.
Well, and I wanted to point out, Nick, you're talking, you talk about the contract size and the homegrown talent, all that stuff. You just did it with Jimenez. You just went and said, hey, this is a really good young player that, I know Jimenez was part of a trade. He's not somebody that came up. I understand that that's a little bit different.
Right.
But you got a good young player. He goes out there, has a great year last year. They get to see him again in spring training and all of that. And they're just like, yeah, I ain't got no questions about it. I tweeted when he blasted that solo shot yesterday. I was just like, yeah, I'll take 7 more years of this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, yeah, man. I mean, you went out and you did that. I mean, the Browns are trying to do that on the other side, sign their young players, talented players, young and early so that they can get them at a little bit better of a price before everything else is going up. And it's just like, you've got young talent that you're confident in and is playing well. Don't do anything stupid. Just sign them. You can say what you want. Does that change? Not that I want it to have, but if you sign Francisco Lindor early, does it change his price?
He turned it down. They tried. And the thing about it, we talk about Andrew Barry playing chess and Berea. Sure enough, and Antonetti, those guys are playing chess because what they got for
3D chess.
Lindor wouldn't sign there. Lindor's contract was $1 million more than Altuve. I think it was Altuve. He wanted to be the highest paid baseball player in baseball. He didn't want to be in Cleveland. So our front office went out and they said, okay, we're going to go get who turned out to be the Gold Glove, second baseman, all-star. And Rosario was a throw and a professional hitter that helps lead this ball club. So, yeah, man, Frankie Lindor is a great ball player. He is. He didn't want to be here. He had the big, Mets or New York Yankees or L.A., the big eyes. And, good luck to you. I'll take Rosario and Jimenez and roll. We'll roll
you're right
with them.
Absolutely.
But you're right, Jacob, what you're saying, and they have a history of signing. Look at Jose. This was his second contract that when he got last year. They extended him early, and they try to do that, and that's what they do, and that's smart business in baseball. And it's because of DePodesta, because he stopped paying guys, and he changed all of that in baseball, where clubs start paying their young guys before arbitration. They stop paying guys for what they did for somebody else. $100 million, and that was the big change in baseball. So,
guys, it was a great opening series. This was a great pilot episode of a podcast that is probably now just going to happen. So, suck it.
Thank you.
Because nobody's arguing with me, so I'm just going to keep on going.
I mean, we can't lie. It's because they're fun. It feels like they picked up right where they left off, and it's a beautiful thing.
They got the guy. This video, we're recording this Sunday right after the game. It'll drop. It's Monday, so they have the night off tonight before a quick 2-game showdown with the A's. Oakland.
The A's, yeah.
The A's.
Really, what they have? Aguilar, they have Ruiz. Who we're facing? I think I took a note on that. Kaprielian we're going against. I'm not worried about the A's, the Oakland A's. But we turn around and bounce back and we come back home. Like Nick said, hot dog races Friday night.
Mariners races Friday night.
Coming to town.
Can't wait.
I think the hot dog race is everybody coming to town. I think that's a great way to end this episode. Guys, thank you so much. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, give a thumbs up and leave some comments, and let's have a good time. We finally made YouTube partners because of all of you amazing people out there. So thank you once again for giving some of your time to us. We will talk to you guys next time. Go Guards.
Go Guards.
Go Guards.